name's Aji, and today we're continuing with our And You'll Never Guess What Happened series, where we attempt different fun and silly challenges, and track how they go. In the last episode, we played 20 games, testing how strong aim assist is on PC, but in today's video, we're back using keyboard and mouse. However, this time, we're going to be seeing how tough the Middle Eastern servers are. So, let's jump straight into it. So heading into the first game, I decide to land at the farmer's market, north of Frenzy, as there is plenty of loot and materials, which would give me a good chance of doing well. And surprisingly, my ping isn't looking too bad, as I'm averaging around 125 ping. Obviously, that's not amazing, but when I played on the Asian and Oceania servers, I got well over 200 ping, so I'm not going to complain about this. In this first game, whilst looting up, I hear the sound of footsteps nearby. I ramp up towards them, before killing them with my assault rifle. However, I get shot at from behind.
Oh shit.
This fight looks like it's going to be trickier, so I pull out my RPG.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck off.
Not quite the start I wanted. The next game, I decide to drop hot at Pleasant, and I hear a player nearby. I miss my pump shot, but I'm able to kill her with my pistol. However, there are more players nearby, and I don't have any materials.
What the fuck?
Wait, how did I not kill him? Did I just shoot a blank? Let's look at that one again. Okay, so my first shot hits him, my second shot misses, and my third shot... See? It didn't do any damage. What the hell? Cheers, Epic. These first couple games couldn't have gone much worse, but this next game is when things started to improve. Was that a bot? That must have been a bot. Was that another bot?
What the fuck is going on?
This lobby is either full of bots or just really bad players. Either way, I'm not complaining. I need a win. Bit of a frantic start, but I make my way out of retail with a few kills, so I'm happy. Later that game, I decide to push a player near Misty, who's just opened a care drop, but I end up being trapped, so it's not looking good. Somehow, I'm able to get out of his box alive, and I try to heal up, but I start getting shot at by another player. The first player suddenly takes my ceiling, but I edit my way out of there, and I'm able to heal up. Shortly after, I try to make my way to the circle, but I've got multiple players after me. I take out a player who doesn't even build, but there's still another player nearby, who decides to push me. It's not looking good. I'm weak, and I don't have any extra shield. And suddenly, they jump into my box.
Oh my god.
How on earth have I survived that? Unbelievable. And what makes it even better is she had loads of shield. So suddenly, it's just me against the final player. I keep high ground, waiting until my opponent makes an appearance. And once the storm starts to move in, I hear the final player moving down below.
Oh my god.
My third game on, and my first win. Get in. I was in some really bad positions in that last game, so I can't believe I was actually able to win it. Playing on 130 ping wasn't ideal, as it made my builds come out much slower, but thankfully, it didn't affect my aim too much. Later that game, I see two players having a build fight, so I decide to knock them down, but they don't even take any fall damage. I hit the player with a clean shot, before going for the trap kill, but it doesn't quite go to plan.
Oh fucking hell.
Game 5, I decide to land at Risky, where I'm able to vanquish a couple unsuspecting noobs. I head away from the area before spotting a player close by, but I quickly run out of materials, so I try to play it cautiously.
Fuck.
And in game 6, I get involved in a build battle with a Skull Trooper. I get him really weak, but he doesn't seem interested in healing. And I die.
What the fuck? How are you? You're terrible. I'm fucking worse.
With the Middle Eastern servers not being as populated as the European ones, and me playing late at night, it meant that there weren't many people playing in this region during my 20 games. And when there aren't many people online, Epic will fill your lobby with as many players as possible, before finishing off the rest of the lobby with bots.
Oh my fucking god!
Also, With there not being an awful lot of Middle Eastern players online, whilst I was playing, it meant that the skill-based matchmaking couldn't be as tight as it would be when I'm playing on the European servers. Otherwise, it would take ages for me to get a game. This is the reason why I believe that a lot of these lobbies were much easier than I'm used to, as these lobbies were filled with good players, bad players, and bots, whereas when I play on European servers, I mainly get matched against decent players, due to the stricter matchmaking.
Oh, what the no!
She took 91 fall damage. Are you kidding me? Game 9, I decide to drop at Misty, which is a good decision, as my loot is looking really good, and I get a couple early kills on the board.
What is this guy?
Later on, whilst running to the circle, I see a player swimming nearby me. I don't trust that she won't shoot me from behind, so I decide to push the fight, hoping to finish it quickly before the storm engulfs us both. I make it to the final 4, and I know where all of the other players are. 2 of them having a big build battle up ahead, but I decide to focus my attention on this player shooting at them from his base. This unsuspecting player is hit by my RPG before I finish him off with the tack. Shortly after, with the final 2 players still fighting up ahead whilst the storm is on the back, I sense that this is my opportunity to take advantage of this and secure a couple easy kills against weakened opponents. But I quickly remember why I hate assault rifles this season.
Blue!
I build up towards one of them before making an angle to shoot at them. So now, it's me against the final player, but it's not looking like it's going to be an easy fight, as she's a decent player. My RPG connects, but she almost gets me with a trap. I try to play low ground, but it's not my natural playstyle, so I decide to build up towards her, hoping that she hasn't been able to heal up fully. Eventually, I'm able to work a shooting angle, and the tack doesn't let me down.
Yes.
That one felt good. I really had to work for it in the end. You love to see it. So 10 games in now, and we've already won 2 games. I don't think I've ever won more than 2 or 3 matches in a 20 games video before, so I was delighted with how things had gone so far. And just like the last game, game 10 starts off really well, as I get a couple early kills, even though this next kill is rudely stolen from me. Sorry, I don't mean to be toxic. I'm able to get my revenge against this player for stealing my kill, as Bloom is actually on my side for once. I make it to the final 5 players, and my loot is looking wonderful. Yet again, I've got an RPG, which I put to good use. I might like an RPG, but I tell you what I like even more. 200 damage headshots. At this point, I'm starting to really feel it. My confidence is sky high, so I'm pushing everyone I see. And this next player simply can't deal with the aggression. And neither can this player, even though she tags me with a solid shot. So once again, that leaves me 1v1 against the final player. Can I get back-to-back wins? Possibly for the first time in this series.
Oh shit.
Well, that's not a good start to the fight, as Fortnite's crappy field of view meant that my character model was blocking my view of the final player. I heal up before taking the high ground. When you're in this position up above, and you've got an RPG, you've got to feel confident. But my main concern was that I'd rush the fight and not play patiently, so I forced myself to stay up high and waited for the right chance to fire my RPG. Eventually, one of them manages to connect, so I need just one more to connect, and I've won the match. I'm not sure how she managed to survive that second RPG, but I still got the win. Result. That's my 3rd win in just 10 games. This has gone way better than I expected.
No, I'm fucking... Oh my god.
Okay, making that 3 wins in my first 11 games.
Don't fucking dance.
The next game, I'm trying to get a high kill win. 10 kills and the win would be near enough the dream. And so far, it's going pretty well, as I've racked up a few really easy kills. But unfortunately, I stopped taking it as seriously as I should, and go to Bloom battle a player. which I quickly regret.
Oh, what am I doing?
Although in the next game, it's not really my fault that I die, as my PC decides to screw me over.
What the fuck? Fucking game! Fuck off.
I wasn't impressed. The last couple games had been ones to forget, but they're in the past now. I can't lose my head. So I go into game 14 fully determined to come out with a 10 kill win, as I've already shown that I can win games on the Middle Eastern servers. But to do that, I'm going to have to push every single person that I see, which is always a risk. But in fairness, my aggressive playstyle is working well so far, as I'm on 7 kills. And not long after, I see 2 players build battling high into the sky, like it's season 6. So like the scumbag that I am, I decide to knock them both down. So that leaves me 1v1 against the final player, and things couldn't have gone much better. I'm on 9 kills, I've got amazing loot, and plenty of materials. Having won 3 games already, I went into this final fight feeling confident, but I knew that I couldn't be complacent, as if this player turned out to be good, then I'd quickly regret not taking it as seriously as I should. But unfortunately, I lose track of where my opponent has gone, and I'm punished for my mistake.
No, oh my god, who are you?
Well, he wasn't playing on 130 ping. In game 15, I decide to land at Pleasant, hoping to get involved in some early action. I see 2 players fighting up ahead, so I snipe one of them before pushing the other player. With me playing on high ping, spraying into a box isn't that effective, but it still just about works. That's not the last of the players though, as I get pushed instantly after. I've not even loaded my SMG. It's not looking good.
Oh my god.
I should not have survived that fight. I really thought I was dead. Later that game, I see 2 players fighting. I hit them both, but it's not enough to kill them, so I push forward. Wait, is that another basketball girl? It feels so wrong, but I had to do it. It ends up being me against 2 other players, but I find myself in a tricky position as I'm caught in between them both, and they've got RPGs. I try to reposition, but I get melted from behind. And one of my opponents goes for the surprise attack.
No! Oh.
Near enough every game, I've been able to get kills, which I'm really happy with. And game 16 wasn't any different, as I quickly wrap up 5 relatively easy kills. My first real test of the match comes later on in the game, as this time I actually have to build. I decide to edit my way down, hoping to catch my opponent by surprise, before I'm quickly reminded why I've started to hit traps being so strong.
No!
Assault rifles have been frustrating me a lot this season due to them having horrible bloom, so in game 17 I decide to go back to using the pistols, which I've really liked so far this season, and I'm quickly reminded why I'm such a fan of them. However, what I'm also a fan of is running an SMG, but with SMGs and pistols both using light bullets, you've got to make sure you've got enough bullets for them both. But unfortunately, I've not kept track of how many bullets I've got until I start fighting a couple players, and it's not until I've completely run out when I finally realise what I've done.
Shit.
So I'm left with only one option: to run away. I end up picking up a gold burst, which I guess isn't the worst thing to drop the pistol for, but I'm still not happy. I make it to the final 1v1, and I think I've got enough light bullets now. I've got the high ground, which I'm glad about, but with the circle drawing in closer, I'm scared that it will end up in a heal off, which I would have little chance of winning, seeing as I don't have any health heals. I drop down lower, trying to get to my opponent, but it doesn't quite go to plan.
No! Oh.
Once again, I start the game off well and get a couple early kills before making it to the endgame. However, I find myself in a really bad position with the storm on my back and two opponents pressuring me. I do my best to make my way to the circle, but it seems like everyone is taking a shot at me.
Oh, fuck off.
And I quickly burn through my materials.
Oh shit, I'm dead.
I'm able to make it to the house and even get some shield, so it's looking like things are on the up. But before I know it, a player has launch padded towards me.
Oh my fucking god.
I just got absolutely wrecked. In our penultimate game, I decide to land at retail, as it's one of my favourite spots. In my first chest, I find an RPG. I'm okay with that, as I like RPGs, but in my next chest, I'd like an assault rifle.
Really?
I don't really need two RPGs, but oh well, screw it. But we're not done there, as in my next chest, yep, you've guessed it.
What is going on?
Why have Epic increased the spawn rate so much?
Oh my fuck, are you actually kidding me?
I like an RPG, don't get me wrong, but it's way too easy to get one. I've had one pretty much every game in this video. It's been mad, and it seems I'm not the only one. I've heard a lot of people moaning about RPGs, which I can understand, as they're so incredibly strong. One idea that's been floating around the community has been that RPGs should take up 2 slots, but I'm not really a fan of this idea, as it's already a tough decision to pick one over a sniper or extra heals. But if it took 2 slots, then I don't think many people would use them. They are strong, but I'd much rather that Epic made them more skill based, by making it so that the damage output is determined by how close to the player the RPG hits. And I'd also like to see them reverted back to how they were last season, when you can only get them from supply drops. Then there would be fewer players running around with them, and getting one would involve an element of risk, as you'd have to go for a supply drop, and potentially signal to people your position. Over the last few months, my playstyle has changed quite a lot. It's rare that I go for massive build fights nowadays, as I instead prefer to box fight players, with it being less susceptible to third partying. However, when playing on over 100 ping, this playstyle really isn't the best, as trying to take people's walls and making quick edits are really difficult to do when you're on high ping, which got me killed on quite a few occasions. So it isn't any surprise that we end the final game dying in a box fight.
Oh, fuck's sake.
So there we have our 20 games. I really wasn't looking forward to making this video, which is why I've put it off for so long, but it went surprisingly well. I got 3 wins, which is my joint best in a video. I got kills basically every single game, and I had an awful lot of fun. So I'm really happy with how it went. I'd like to have turned a couple of those second place finishes into wins, but it's not quite as simple as that when you're playing on much higher ping than normal. So I'm not going to complain. So, have you ever played on the Middle Eastern servers? What's the craziest server you've ever played on? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you want to support me as a content creator, then feel free to use my creator code, which is on the screen now. So anytime you buy something in the item shop and use my code, it'll go directly towards supporting the channel, which would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time for another video. Goodbye.